Hi, everyone. I have somebody with me today that's going to speak out and share her story. And I'd like you to just offer her the same grace and empathy that so many people in this anti-MLM community and people that didn't know about multi-level marketing, they really offered me. You know, it takes courage to speak out. It takes courage to face up. You know what we've been part of. And it's really complicated to just figure out what we've been through. So I'm really honored to offer my platform to help amplify people's voices. And that is what I'm doing today with this individual. She's going to be starting to talk, but I just want to give you a little bit of how I figured out how I became connected with her. Somebody had actually sent me an Instagram. I don't even think I told you this. Somebody had sent me an Instagram message saying that somebody was speaking out and they said, oh, maybe you could make content on this, but I wanted to reach out to you first because this stuff can be so sensitive and complicated. And I saw that you had sent me a message, and I contacted you, and then we went back and forth, and then we've already had one conversation. So with that, please welcome my guest, Marty Kelly. Introduce yourself. It's all yours.
Thank you. Julie, I found your channel really therapeutic after this all went down, and I've been waiting to see if things would change. I mean, it's kind of like a bad relationship where you're always hoping that the other person will come around. I always hoped that my MLM would reach out to me, and there was really no closure. Back in April, this whole thing went down, and we had been in a company called Modere, and I believed in it with my heart and soul. I've been in MLM since 2012, and what really inspired me was because I joined with a local team, and we're a small team up here in Maine, and we all know each other, and it was really building so well, and it was so exciting, and the products were great. I mean, MLM has great products, right? So they were really good products. And back then, that was like 2012. How long ago is that?
13 years ago.
Yeah, so I started building and okay. So the vision was like, I really wasn't interested, but the vision was, see, I have a son who has autism, and he was very severe at the time. And I don't even know how old he would have been back in 2012, probably 11, 10 or 11. And the vision was, okay, you can build this for autism. You can help other autistic families. And for me, I was just a mom at home. I had 3 children and one with severe autism. And I believed that. I believed that vision was, I was building this for my son's future. Because at the time, I didn't know whether he would be able to hold a job, work, do things. And it was a way for me to kind of have like a little bit of income was the pitch, right? And we will help you. We will be there with you. And it's going to be a family. We're all a big family. And they were like, to me, it was family. It was ride or die. That was the deal. We were all in this together. And, I really love these people. It was a second family for someone that when you have a child with autism, it's very hard because you don't have a lot of the same friends that you used to have. Like a lot of people show their true colors. And this was security for me. And I had a huge following because of the platform with autism. I connected with so many moms. And that was good because as moms, you have to take care of your child. And this was a way for us to build an income without going out and getting a job. And I believed that vision. I believed in the platform. Hope for Autism. And that was my whole team. And I went to all of my friends and they believed me, right? My friends believed me. They believed in me. And since 2012, day and night, blood, sweat, and tears, I built a team. I built customers. I built secure, integrity, right? They trusted me. And I am trustworthy. I I am the voice. I speak things as it is. And I think this is why this whole thing hurts so bad. And the first time was when that company did wind up getting shut down. And they said, okay, this is the logical integrity thing to do. We're all going over to the next company as a team. We're all going to stick together as a team. You know, in any business, people have disputes, right? So, like, I might not have liked one person or another, and the upline, like this or that, but I had no choice, really. It was kind of like any business. You come over as a team, you work with people, you get along. That's just how it is in life. So, I was able, came over to this new company, we all joined Modere together. And I loved the team. And I was introduced to people, I'll refer to them as the twins. They're two identical twins. And they were going to be my upline. I had never met them before. They weren't part of my team, so I don't know where they came from. So that was like the first kind of red flag with MLM, like, oh, we're going to all come over as a team. But all of a sudden, there was like rankings and priority where I was a top leader. I was being put below lower people. So I finally got over that. Okay, that's fine. And I loved these girls. They were like sisters to me, and day and night we worked together, and everyone can vouch how close we were. Um, you know, we would just talk to each other all the time, and they were always helping me. And they'd say, let's talk to other autism moms. So I had a whole team of autism moms. We were all building together. And then also locally, and I thought they were my friends, right? I thought that everybody was my friends. I thought that the team that I built were my friends as well because they were actually people I knew in person. So, um, I mean, I really don't know what happened. I know the Modere company shut down, and I just assumed we were all going to go over to the next company together as a team because I had spent so many years building. I probably had 100 to 200 team members in everything in downline, and I had a huge customer base because I sold a lot of just direct commission. Sorry.
You don't need to apologize. You take your time.
So, I mean, I had been questioning what was happening in Modere because my sales were down. I used to be a pretty good leader. I would be like personal sales, 15 to 30,000 a month myself. And then for the last year, it went down to probably like 2,000 a month, which was like a red flag for me, you know, and I kept questioning. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And the more I asked, I would be ghosted by my upline, or they would say things like, it's just you. You need to work harder. Our business is better than ever. I mean, just work harder, right? I was already working really hard. I had a virtual assistant. We were working 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day, I was working like consistently 8 to 12. And then plus, you know, anything that would come in that I had to handle all day, like just trying to build this. And I had been building since 2012 anyway, so I had a huge amount of potential leads. I never really pushed products on people. If they wanted it, they'd reach out to me. So when Modere shut down, this whole thing was like, I just assumed we were going to be in it as a team. And I never heard anything from my upline. They didn't call me, they didn't text me. These girls that I had been working with, the twins, they didn't say anything. They were ghosting me. But I thought, at the time, I thought they must be healing. Like I'm healing, right? And lo and behold, they were reaching out literally here in Maine, because a lot of my friends that we had built teams together are local. They one drove an hour north, and the other drove an hour and a half south, and went and visited my team, and were literally reaching out to each member of my team and talking to them and saying, we don't know what we're doing, but Marty's not going to be with us. She's going a different direction. Never including me. And this went on. I had no idea. I thought they were healing. And then all of a sudden, my virtual assistant said, your team's been over at the twins' house. And the twins wouldn't see me or call me. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're all having meetings over there. So I asked my team, I'm like, hey, so-and-so, have you seen the twins? No, haven't heard from them. So it was all secret. I don't know what was going on. But I said, no one's ever confided in me what was going on, except I did have a few friends that stuck with me during this whole blowout, which I don't even know what the blowout was, because I'm assuming that you would talk to me in person after something like this, that we would work things out. Like, I'm a difficult person, apparently, but I'm also a high producer. Maybe I'm difficult, maybe I'm not. I think I'm human. I've never been anything but human, and they would always push that rhetoric. They pushed the rhetoric on me so much that when I first joined the company and I was selling things, they were saying, like, we're not making any money on your sales. We're not making any money. So I'd split my commissions with them for the first few months. I would give them half of what I was making. And you know what, Julie? I was happy to do it. And I'm still okay with that, because they were helping me so much, right? They were teaching me. But this whole week after Modere shut down, they were literally reaching out to each one of my enrollments, messaging them, being all chummy with these people, and then telling them that there was a new venture, but Marty wasn't coming. Marty's going a different direction, which wasn't true. Obviously, I wanted to have that business. It was a business, something that I built. And I had a team. I had an account for my son with autism. He had he had a team. My other son had a big team. So the one friend that did stay with me was one of the believers in the beginning that we were building this for our children. She has an autistic son, and she also has a child that was my daughter's age that unfortunately passed away with childhood cancer, and she's a big advocate for that. She decided to stay with me. And what happened with that is they took her team as well. And so anyone that decided to stay with the twins were told, you can stay with us and keep all your customers, and we'll divvy up Marty's team, and we'll divvy up her customers, and we're going to be a new team. Or you can go with her, but your customers and your team are staying with us, because they were talking to them, manipulating behind the scenes.
I'm floored how, and I think a lot of people are too, just hearing how I'm just going to back up. Before Modere shuts down and takes everybody by surprise, including yourself, where you were describing that you still feel kind of happy and grateful to have been paying your upline because they were really helping you. And I just want to point out that is it might be illegal. It's extremely unethical. This shouldn't happen in any MLM. But I just want to kind of point out to you, as somebody who's been in MLM and it helps a lot of other people, deprogram, or they deprogram themselves, is that this is a common tactic of being exploited and then feeling grateful for it. Like there's a reason for it. It's really tricky. So I know, and it doesn't mean that it's your feelings are wrong or invalidated. There's a lot of things that have happened to me and to other people that are watching this right now that they're probably having examples come to their mind too, being like, yeah, that's exactly what I felt too. It's this very strange feeling of gratitude. And you can see, you can make rationalizations to explain that, well, they did really help you and they owed you, but that's the function of being in an MLM. Like the benefit is that they have a downline, whether they choose to help you or not. It shouldn't be an added, money on top of it through this feeling, of making you feel like you owe them. So you may disagree with me there, and that's totally fine. But I just want to kind of introduce that to you too, because I'm getting really angry, like hearing your story, just even when we first connected. It's just making me really upset, especially because you were targeted and through autism as the connection point. And also using, your family, your hard work and your credibility, and using that and with all these other people as well. And I also just want to say that you are extremely well-spoken and articulate and are conveying this information very well right now.
I'm not. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of detox. Okay. That buzzword, drama, that's what they've been pushing out. Don't talk to Marty. It's drama. Don't talk to Marty. That's negative. Let's focus on the positive and go forward from today. What about what I've built? What about my business? Why only me? Am I that horrible of a person? Today is the first day where I don't feel like a piece of crap. And that's for real. Where I don't feel like I'm this horrible, unlovable person. Like, I thought that my team liked me.
You have been part of something that is extremely predatory and calculated. I think what's one of the most heartbreaking things. So first off, I just want to say there is nothing wrong with you. You are a good person. You're a good human. And I know that there's people that are going to be watching this that are outraged at seeing what you have been like experiencing and what are going through right now, saying like today's the first day that you feel like a piece of crap. So when they're saying it's like, well, there's all this drama, it's meant to cut everything off, stop thinking, and just move on to whatever the next multi-level marketing company is with. And then people don't need to, grapple or confront their own feelings. The illusion is that the very real feelings you had believing that this was a family, there's other people that believe it too. That's used. It's an illusion that's constructed by some people in MLM that fully know what this is about. And they can be extremely convincing, and they'll be the last people that you would ever expect to do it. They present themselves very, not like, I was speaking with you as some dark, evil dude in the street, with a trench coat being like, come over here. This is a family. It doesn't present itself like that. It's like a long con. And when an opportunity comes up, they will take the first thing to just be so completely ruthless and cutthroat. This is meant, they know what this is doing to people, and they're choosing to do it. And it's extremely frustrating for me to see you experience this and go through this. And I just want to tell you that
Why?
you're going to get through this, and I know you're probably going to get through but because it's a scam, and these are predators. This is what they do. This is how it happens.
Why me? Like, why did they want to do this? They're saying that, okay, so, here's the rhetoric. Your team didn't want to go with you. And so then I'm thinking, oh, well, if so-and-so and so-and-so didn't want to be with me, okay, that's okay. So I texted my friend, right? And I said, look, whatever it is, don't worry about it. If you want to be with the twins, I'm not allowed, but it's okay. And she texted me back, I'm literally shaking right now. I'm so angry. I can't believe you would text me this. And I'm like, what? So I don't know. I don't know what the rhetoric is. I don't know what the stuff is, but there was huge manipulation going on because the minute Modere shut down, I was ghosted. And then a week later, I get a text. Sorry, we can't mentally deal with whatever with you. You're this, you're that, you're too difficult. Okay, if I was difficult, it's because someone that sells one bottle a month is a lot different from someone that sells like what I was selling, $15,000 to $30,000. So I have a more different level of intensity, and I'm gonna want to control my team. I'm gonna want to know what's going on. And they were constantly pushing me to be like, you're too much, you're this, go over here. And the thing is, maybe I am, right? But you have, like, that's how it is in any profession, any job, right?
My perception is that they're using they're creating like some kind of character flaw as a justification for stealing your team. It is so unethical that after like 13 years, and you have this family, you feel like this is a family, and for all intents and purposes, it is. And a company shuts down, and instead of being like, well, what do we do here? What's our next move? They actually go out of their way to contact your team. You are not a bad person by naturally assuming, because it's a human empathetic thing to think, that, oh, they must be healing because we're all so shaken by this. And they weren't.
We
They were
were
very
shaken. I was shaken. But they weren't. Maybe they already knew. I know that I reached out to upline above them. I reached out to 2 or 3 and I said, look, this is going on. And I got, you're a problem. You're a problem. Your team doesn't want to go with you. I got no, what do you call that when people help you and try to work things out? Mediation or from any of the upline, and I got ghosted. Also, the twins went out of their way to tell other top leaders in Modere not to take me into the new company, that I was trouble. So nobody would talk to me. They were told, this girl, if the twins don't want them, the sweet twins, and they are sweet. I don't know if it was them or if it was another person like in the upline that didn't want me to come. I mean, I don't know. I can't believe the twins would do that. Like, did they meet? I don't think they meant to. I don't think this, I don't think this was supposed to happen. That's why it's been 4 months. Like, I feel like, I feel like it's a relationship. Like, he still loves me, doesn't he? He's gonna come back.
And that's normal. That's a normal reaction. It's because it's something that it's so unbelievable. It doesn't make any sense in fitting into like what you experienced. And then it's really, it shakes your whole perception of what you were part of afterwards, where they're just continuing to move on. And by constantly making you feel like you're a problem, this is their excuse. This is what they can say. This is the story that they tell themselves to do whatever they want. There is no way like any kind of like legitimate business would behave this way. If there was this problem, then they could, talk to you face to face, not go out of your way the day after Modere shuts down and goes talks to your team. This is wildly unethical.
Drive 2 hours one way, 2 hours the other.
And they poisoned the well too. That was the other thing I wanted to mention as you were speaking out. So when you had texted your teammate saying, you're trying to, if you want to do that, go for it. And then when they respond back to you, like, I can't believe you do this, the twins or whoever, they have poisoned the well. So who knows what they're saying. It happens. We've seen this happen over and over and over again in all these different MLMs. And they need to create some kind of story and justification to make sure now you are excluded. What's horrifying is that it in some cases, like something has happened where it's like, okay, I've done something, I've been screwed over, and this has precipitated this event. But this is the thing, you are completely blindsided here. The company shuts down and you lose your team, and now everybody is like painting you as this villain when you're still, what are you talking about? This is what's so alarming about this, especially you as a top producer, somebody that has been further up in this compensation plan of this company, to be treated this way.
I mean, okay, no, I was difficult that last 18 months. I talked to my upline above the twins and I said, what's going on? Can I get some help? And he ghosted me, after I like confronted, hey, what's going on? So this was April 2024. And then the next year talking to the twins was like hard. They would ghost me. All of a sudden, hey, there's an event tomorrow night that we're planning locally. Not tell me, and then tell me the day before. And like, I lost my cool in the group chat with the guy that's ghosted me, and I did say at Christmas, I said ho ho ho, burn in hell to him. It was, the twins were in the chat, and I was kind of joking, I thought it was, I did wish him Merry Christmas. I said ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. And then like I just would like, every month or so I'd be like, it's a beautiful day, burn in hell to him. Okay, I did give him a little bit of trouble. And that's when I thought I was secure in Modere. Okay, I get that, but can you work it out? It's because he was ghosting me.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had actually just addressed me, talked to me, been like, I this or that. But I'm not the first person that upline that he's done that to. He did that to probably, like, I have messages, probably 10 to 20 direct salespeople on his team, which is weird. And then there was another business here in town that he actually did this to a relative of his, where he actually took the business. So like, I didn't know about that. That was 2015. So that's very unethical practices by that family. But that's not the twins. I was like, okay, maybe it's him. Maybe the twins still love me, right? So relationship. Maybe it's the dad. You know, maybe he still loves me, but his parents are giving him a hard time and he secretly wants to still be with me. Do the twins secretly still want to be with me? It's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, how can they do this? I thought they loved me.
I know.
I thought we were friends.
And it was real on your part, you know, and it was legitimate.
I
don't
mean,
know.
doing this, they erased years of my work. Boom. Years of my work. And I built it for my son. It's his business too. He had a business. You take his as well. And then my other son, like, it just erased years of my work.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even taking my son's business, that's a little personal, isn't it? Like, that's personal. They knew what they were doing, I guess.
Yes. Yes, they did. And they feel justified in doing it. What has been, what, you know, I appreciate when you're, you know, taking accountability for, you know, saying it's like, well, I've been difficult. I get that. But what you're experiencing and what has been done to you is so wildly inappropriate. It's so wrong that there would be something wrong if you didn't have this kind of reaction. It's like earth shattering. It's so wrong. Anybody that is coming across this, I think you're going to be surprised at the comments that you see when this is posted. People are going to be giving you a lot of support. This is just horrible. I do have a question. I don't know if you want to like maybe reflect on this, but you know, you've mentioned a number of times that you say I was difficult. And can you just explain to us why you feel you were difficult?
Yeah, I definitely was, because I would be working and we're all single. Well, I'm not single, but I'm a mom and like my kids are grown up. So I'm empty nester. So that's kind of a different, that feels a little single. But, you know, I'm still married. But the thing is, like, they were single. So we would work all hours of the night and we would text each other and we were constantly like talking to each other. I've been working this business. I had brought in, I was almost an elite in Modere, which is 100,000 a month per team. So, you know, maybe director 3 is a trickle down, but I would need help. And they would say, all we do is help your team. All we do is help you. We spend all of our time with you. So after COVID around 2020, I stopped asking them for help altogether. And I tried not to text or bother them. But they still kept throwing that up, which I felt like I really didn't message them or call them any at all. But they would just like ghost me. It would be like 3 or 4 days or a week before I'd hear back from them, which is okay, but it wasn't how it was in the beginning when we're actively selling, actively doing sales. But and then they'd say things to me like, "Oh, you're not working like you used to, are you?" And I'd be like, "What do you mean? Like, I work 4 hours a day, like direct with my virtual assistant on here, you know, just showing up is kind of how I worked." And that was a lot of work, but difficult because I demanded a lot of their time. I don't feel that I demanded a lot of their time and towards the end. Like since 2020, 2021, I felt that I was really self-propelled in my business. I mean, okay, Julie, I had 300 leads, group chats for business leads, and they never helped with any of those. So I was like, can you pop in some of those and kind of like, you know, talk to them and get to know some of these people with me? And they wouldn't, which was fine. So I kind of handled a lot of it myself,
So
but
I just want to kind of explore this just a little bit more, because what I'm hearing is that you feel like you are like you've earned the right to be called difficult because you were asking for help, and then when they told you that you were asking for help too much, you stopped asking for help. So in my perception, to me, this sounds like it's the opposite. The label of difficult should be on squarely on the shoulders of the people who are benefiting from your work and that did help you. And then when they stopped replying to you, then they're asking you, why aren't you working as much? They've created this scenario, which with they're complaining about. To me, watching this and hearing you explain it, the label of being difficult lies with the uplines, not with you in that regard. That's what I see.
Well, I mean, I would like blow up after being ghosted. I'd be like, what the heck? I'd send, messages. I mean, I did vent. I'm human. I did do that. I didn't do it a lot. I tried to control myself, but, they would just ghost me more. But I had nothing. I mean, when you're in a relationship or a business since that long a time, like, I'm gonna make mistakes. Like, I'm sorry. I was just trying to get them to help or to like the business. Like, Modere was going down. I had no idea. And they were just ghosting me. They weren't confronting it. They weren't talking to me about it. And it had been for a good year and a half. April of 2024 is when I started really freaking out. So that would be the whole year after that. And I mean, I don't know. I just really trusted these people and they betrayed that. Like, what? Then they would say, like, your team doesn't like you. After they went and they would say, like, I probably could get anybody in a conversation and start talking crap about you to somebody. I could probably get them to kind of be with me on my side. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the twins were supposed to be my mentors. And the whole time, I don't know for how long, but I think they were just plotting my removal the whole time. I would go on trips that we had won. They wouldn't even like take photos with us, talk to us. Like, it was really weird. I don't know. I guess the signs were there. Um, But I do think that what was happening behind the scenes that last week after Modere shut down is that they promised my team, my customers, and like customers or a team, they'd build a team together without me. Whereas before, these people all met because of me, right? So, a 35-year-old girl or woman doesn't know a 50-year-old autism mom. And so, or, it's just, they would never have met. They wouldn't have known my friends from other states. Maybe the local people would have got together eventually, but not from my hometown, not from, up in the mountains. Maine's a big state. The hometown is 2.5 hours away. I built a big team there.
We're back. Just had to do a little bit of moving around here. And right before we got connected, Marty, you were telling me, and you asked me to say this. This is why I'm speaking on this right now. Is, you felt confused and that, you didn't really even say anything about your story. And then what I was telling you is that you've been part of a high control group for a number of years. And as part of being in that, you really internalize and believe that you're not enough. Like, we've heard you describe yourself as being difficult and give these reasons why you think that you're difficult. And there's this doubt that is bred in participation in this stuff, that you're never enough, that even when you're speaking out, people understand you. It's still, there's something wrong. And I was just letting you know that's normal. It's normal to feel confused. It's normal to have this doubt. It's normal to be going through all this turbulence. It's not this fundamental flaw in you.
I mean, I find that very therapeutic, very helpful. Because like just reaching out and saying, hey, why are my numbers down? Why, I was consistently 15,000 in, personal customer sales. Why is it at 2,000 all the time? And they're saying, you just need to work harder. You just need to do more. You just need to get more training. You just need to do this better or that better. And, and I didn't have the money. Like, I signed up for that $12,000 training, $12,000. to make my business to the next level. And that was the year my business went to $2,000 a month. And I was getting extra training. I don't know. I mean, is it just because it's sales? Like, I felt like I don't know.
MLM is fraud. And when there's shady shit that goes on, they need to keep people believing, even when you are a top producer, they need you to believe that there's something wrong with your mindset. So even when you have been like, all this, like thousands of dollars of personal sales, you've been at this for a long time, a number of years. This isn't your first rodeo. It's not like you just signed up for 6 months and you invested $12,000, this money that is like, again, pumping up into this because there's something that's wrong with you, even though you can see now, wait a second, my numbers are, to go from 15 to 30,000 to 2,000, and you're still working, you're doing everything right. And they say, well, the only thing that could possibly be wrong is that you need to do more training. You could be doing the trainings yourself. There's nothing new here. It's the same recycled, regurgitated nonsense. And then lo and behold, Modere shuts down. So who benefits from that $12,000? It's like squeezing more money from participants as much as they can, even people that are the top producers. Unbelievable.
My downline would come to me, and the sweetest people, like I love these people. And the only reason why I haven't spoke out sooner is like, I didn't want to hurt them. Yeah. Because they're the sweetest, they're my friends. They live in town. Like, they all came to my son's wedding, which I wasn't sure. So like this whole thing, I had always visioned all our team coming, a big happy family. They still came, but I haven't spoken to them. And they would say to me, and these are older people, they'd say, I'm really negative. I'm a really negative person. I got to work on my mindset and my mentality. I'm negative. And, they're older, they're nice, and they just didn't get the sales like the younger generation because their demographics are different than mine. And I would say, you're not negative. You're only speaking reality, which would be such and such is reality. And we're analyzing, trying to fix reality. Whenever we would say that, the twins would be like, you're really negative. It's really negative that you're telling me you're getting only $2,000 a month. You need to work harder and fix your attitude.
Isn't it interesting that you were kind of like running interference to these other people, that believe that they're negative or difficult? And the same thing was happening to you all the way down the chain, but you were able to identify that and be like, no, you're just speaking reality. It's
Is reality negative?
No, it's a compliment to be labeled negative or difficult when you're in an MLM. That's all I'm saying. It's a good thing. Because there's that authenticity. There's that it's dangerous to people that are trying to cover things up when they can detect somebody who is real, who is seeing through the things and has the courage to speak out. So they need to do whatever they can in order to stop you from doing that. And the best way is that because you're involved in this, because there's relationships in this, is to naturally make you believe that there's just something wrong with you. Because there's always a kernel of truth in that. We all want to improve. There's always something that we can find that we regret or we could have done better. And so then we use that as our own justification to then go and get additional coaching and to look away from the reality that you are only making $2,000 now. So the natural thing in that is to spend $12,000 to fix that.
Oh, selling 2,000. I didn't make that kind of money.
Okay, selling 2,000. Excuse me. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah.
Because that'd be fine. I wouldn't be complaining about that. As a supplemental income, that's like gravy train, right? And that's the whole thing. And I just want to bring it. I just have to talk again about the whole heart of this mission. So for me at this point, back in 2012, it was a different story and I needed the extra money. I was a stay-at-home mom. I definitely needed the money. And that was the team. Okay, the upline said, let's talk to other stay-at-home moms with special needs kids. Doesn't have to even be autism. We can talk to cerebral palsy moms, just different ones. And then just to make that a team of hope, there's hope. And you can get these therapies for your kids. If you work hard, this is a way to earn that money and not bother your husband, right? So back then, that was the vision. And I really believed in it. And I still believe in it. I mean, I do. I don't. Like, that was the whole thing, was helping the autism moms. And it was my passion. It was a way for us to make income for therapies we couldn't afford. So I just can't.
Yeah, it's not easy to separate the two, and that's done on purpose as well.
To have your what do they call that when you have your purpose or tell your story?
Mm-hmm.
And that's real. That was a real story, and I really was successful. But I wasn't like necessarily preying on other moms. It was, okay, if you want to build a business with me, we can build it. But I mostly do sales. And I never would say, oh, this is going to be this is good for your child. It would just be weight loss stuff or things that would help you with that type of stuff, because that's a whole nother level of scam. Mm-hmm. Something that's going to help their disability or things like that. That's just not okay. Even if I knew for sure it was going to help it, that's just wrong, because every child's different and I'm not a doctor, and different level.
You were trying to do the right thing.
So I do feel the extent of manipulation that went into it, especially after it hit me. People kept saying, my upline would say to me, your team doesn't want to work with you. What can I do to help you if your team doesn't want to be with you? And that would just baffle me. Why don't they want to be with me? Because I'm intense. Number one, I work hard, but I was always there for my team. Anyone under me, I would always help them. And for them to just not even talk to me about this whole situation. And I think they were told not to talk to me. I think that talking to me was negative, drama, not moving forward. And hey, they were promised my team anyway. They were promised, hey, we're going to all go together. It's going to be bigger and better. And Marty's not coming. Marty's going somewhere else. And guess what, Marty, the twin said, we wish you well and we wish you happiness. And you're just such a wonderful, amazing person. And we wish you well in whatever you do. We know you're going to be successful.
It's a rude wake-up call.
Yeah, because I work my butt off. I'm going to be successful. But so should I just shut up and let them take what I built? I feel like I built that, Should they not be
You did build that.
And I've had people, so we're local, I've had people come up to me locally and say, I don't appreciate you talking crap about the twins online. And I said, I get it. You love them and I love them too. And I'd be mad too if someone was talking about my friends or family that way. But what about all the years I worked? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't they call me or text me? Why didn't they just do that? I wouldn't even be talking to you if I had an explanation, but I've had no closure. I've had no explanation. They have refused to talk.
Yeah. The thing is that's so egregious is that it's people running defense for people that are scamming others and they have had no problem in just stealing your team. That's just a fact. Now, people can be uncomfortable with that fact and they might not like to hear that fact, but that's the reality. So pointing that out it's not it's not an ad hominem. It's not a personal attack. It's just what's happened. And it is wrong. And there will be more and more people that realize that's wrong. And they will it might take them some time, that they are going to leave. And then they will also feel the need to, when something is done wrong, like you want to speak out. It's one of like these, it's like a right needs to be wronged in some way, or you need to try to understand. It's like human nature, this compulsion, you know?
Well, the point is too, like my upline would say, you can't take people. You don't own people, Marty. Like they didn't want to be with you. They went with the twins because they didn't like you and they didn't like working with you.
Man, this Modere toxicity is just a nightmare. It's like all these people are telling you, they're like gaslighting you. This is just ruthless.
You don't think that's true?
No. And you know, I remember when we first connected, and it's just this genuine heartbreaking thing where you're like, but isn't that right? Like, because you're being told on all fronts by people who are scamming others and going and recruiting people into yet another multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, knowing full well that what they're doing is unethical. And what they're doing is they need to make you believe and everybody else believe that there's something wrong with you. And there isn't. And you believe it so much that you keep calling yourself difficult, even though, yes, we all have these, you know, you take accountability and you know, we're all not perfect, but not to excuse them defrauding and exploiting other people. You could be the most miserable son of a bitch ever. That still doesn't make it right what they've done. It's not right.
So it's not really, even if I was a really horrible person.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's completely beside the point, but they need you to believe that to then control you. And hopefully we can just like tiptoe on into this next thing. And by the way, we wish you all the success in your life. It's like, it's so wrong. People could get away with this in the past when people wouldn't speak out about it. And you think, well, maybe I deserve it. And you don't deserve it. Of course, being part of an MLM, I want to see everybody get out. And I hope that you don't go into another MLM. That's I really hope.
I know. I was like thinking, like, I don't know, is TikTok shop wrong? Like, do I do something? Like, what can I do? Like, I'm pretty good at sales, but I'm taking a break. I'm healing. It was a lot of work.
Good. Yeah. One of the things is, you know, to try to make sense of this and just to start learning about the why people say these are scams and frauds, you know. And the thing is to get to that point, a lot of people go through a completely different process than you. They start snapping pieces into place. Now, you've been snapping pieces into place for quite some time. However, this just completely blindsided you. This is like the company shut down, your team is gone, and now you're left to like try to make sense of things. That's a different thing. So if you don't have the, you know, the need or the, like you have to do something online right now, I would suggest like, you know, like taking time off. This is just a suggestion. It's not an order, you know, you get to decide what you want to do, but take some time off and just try to heal, figure out what's going on, and try to create a different, a different routine, a different reality that's not the same as what was in multi-level marketing, instead of like rushing to substitute it with TikTok shop, feeling that it must be replaced. If you have the possibility to take a step back and don't fill any hole, let it sit there and just take some time and think about things. That's what I suggest.
And that's what I've been doing too. And, you know, I'm coming to that conclusion that like, I mean, the whole thing is just so, I don't know, it's just blindsided so much. And like being able to, this is the first time I've been able to talk. Like it's been 4 months without me like breaking down full-fledged crying over this. Like it's been so hard. But there's definitely another spot that I want. What do you think?
Gotta move so Dad can get out.
Okay, honey. Do you have anything that I should mention that I'm forgetting? My family's very supportive.
Well, if that was a traditional business, then it would be illegal to do something like that. But it's not illegal because it's an MLM, so that's pretty sleazy.
Nailed it.
He's pretty upset. And the thing that has prevented us talking really is my downline, because I don't want to hurt anybody.
I
I
know.
don't really want to hurt the twins either.
I know.
I mean, I feel bad talking to you, Julie. And that's my son, Philip. He had a big business, and now they've taken that. And then I have an autistic son, Kenny. The minute he turned 18, he's texting me, guess what? Ha ha ha. I joined the business. I have business partners with the twins, and we love them. And
And you
we do.
can't. This is the beautiful thing now about moving through this and moving on, is that you can have all of these feelings. You can still care about them. You can be outraged at how they've treated you and how they've manipulated you and how they're targeting other people. You can have both feelings at the same time. You don't need to pick. It can be complicated and messy. That's
Do you
the beauty
think
of this.
that is legit though? Like that whole thing of like my upline saying to me, like people high up, the owners of the new company that we're all joining, saying, your team doesn't want to work with you. They don't want to be with you. Like,
No,
that's why I backed off. Like it got
not
me to
legit.
back off.
No, it's because their only goal is to make as much money as possible. And they saw this as an opportunity, just the same way that they targeted you in the past under the guise of autism. They see this as an easy way to make more money. And then they just need to tell you that, well, nobody likes you. All of a sudden, it's really funny how suddenly nobody likes you at all. And now we're going to take you and we're going to bring you to this new company that we're going to start.
You have something to say? This is Julie. This is my son, Phil.
Hi, I'm pleased to meet you. Thank you.
No, nothing. Just what I said already.
I know. It's been 4 months. This is finally, like, we haven't really talked about it as a family. I mean,
if you didn't have any other source of income, they'd be taking your whole life away from you, basically. You know, if you didn't have a husband, if you were a single mom raising your kid, I wonder if they still would have done that to you.
or if I was a man, I don't think they would have dared do it to me. It's because I'm weak. Like, oh, she's not going to stand up to us. So all the men who literally did nothing in Modere are still my upline, right? They literally didn't lift a finger, but they get my team. The twins get my team because that's how it goes in the line, right? Why are they benefiting from my hard work? Is that okay?
No, it's not. And whether somebody likes you or not is completely irrelevant. Their own trainings that they've done over the years and then moved into subsequent companies contradicts what they teach. It has nothing to do with whether you like or whether you want someone. It's about production. It's about them overcoming their mindset then in order to work with their upline. This is an orchestrated effort to make you feel like there is something so fundamentally wrong with you that everybody hates you, and therefore them taking your team and your livelihood and any possibility that you could move on to another multi-level marketing company, it makes it, no, you can't, because there's something so wrong with you. You've been targeted and you've been played. And they didn't expect you to say anything about it because they've successfully done this in the past.
They did it to a lot of people.
And it is wrong and it is outrageous. There are people in other multi-level marketing companies that are watching this unfold that have heard, and they're horrified. And then there are people outside of MLM, people like I've been in MLM. There's people that haven't been in, and they see this, and it's unbelievably shocking and disgusting and disturbing. Everybody, 100% of the time, is going to be saying this is outrageous. It's like gravity. This is an easy win. What has been done to you is not okay.
And not just me. There were other girls in the company that I remember it happening to. There were other people, and they just kicked him right out of the business. Just because, and it was just like personal things, like they just whatever decided. But
This has happened in other multi-level marketing companies too. This has happened in Modere. This has been kind of like widely publicized within anti-MLM commentary. People just don't like you anymore for whatever reason, and they just take your team. You get pushed out.
Really?
Oh yeah, and this goes back all the way decades to Amway. Amway is notorious for this, and all MLMs, including Modere and every other multi-level marketing company that has come out of Modere, they're all modeled on Amway.
They didn't just do it to me. They did it to Kenny, to my little boy. I haven't talked to him about this because I don't want him to not love the twins. And like, if I talk to the kids about it, they'll get like so on my side, like as far as my downline goes. You know, I just saw the greed really come out of people that I thought were my friends in my downline. Whenever like we were leaving, they would say things like, I'll take your customers, things like that. And this is before Modere shut down, right? So I think they were kind of like scheming with my team before, because like I didn't know where that was coming from. I'll take your customers, give them to me, or put these people under me and things like that. But you know, I really believed that this was for my son's future, and it evolved into bigger than that because I was so successful. If I relied on that income for them to take it, just I don't know. At this point, like, obviously I don't rely on the income anymore, but I don't know, I feel really exploited at this point. I believed the vision. And I do think that they were deliberate in what they did and they knew exactly what they were doing. I don't feel that I was so difficult that they didn't want to work with me. I feel that it was just about greed. If I talk to other people in MLM, they say, no one reached out to you, your team, nobody on your team told you what they were saying behind your back. And I find that incredulous. Like, why? Why didn't they? I do still find that odd.
I have some insight into this. It's because like different levels of control in a multi-level marketing company, it really gets people to fall into line. So they just kind of, it's been set up where people view you as a problem, and because they really know, like, and trust these different uplines that have had, and they really love the products. And now keep in mind, the business has shut down for them too. So they're really uncertain, and their vulnerability is also being exploited. So it's actually pretty easy for someone then to just come in and tell them a different story, and they would have to overcome so much for them just to reach out to you. It's quite shocking how fast people are pushed out of a high control group, and it's like considered you're a problem. You're a hater, you're a demon, you vibrate at a low frequency. They'll have all different kinds of names for that. Or you're difficult, you're negative, we need to exclude you. It comes down like just this steel wall instantly. And that's why they're good people. They're confused, and they've also currently being manipulated. And they feel there's no other option for them to make any money, even though many of them aren't making any money at all. They're losing money, to then just follow suit, to go for another opportunity.
So I had one friend, the autism one, that they actually went and visited her in person. And she stood up for me and she said, you know, Marty might have said those things to you. Marty might have vented. But, you know, I think she just like, she will get that way sometimes. You just have to understand her. She's like, not a bad person. She stood up for me. And she actually lost. That's the one that her daughter was my daughter's age. And they kicked her out too. Right. And they took all of her needs.
Of course they did, because you just have to think of the character of someone that thinks it's legitimate and ethical to go visit your downline surreptitiously and insult you and talk ill of you in order to manipulate them to not reach out to you and then to join them. It's not giving informed consent. It's going behind your back and talking ill of people without you knowing it. It's extremely devious. This was calculated.
This was calculated?
Absolutely 100%. You can't make a move like this over and over again. You know, I bet you they have a script that they've used with all of your team. It quickly took hold after like successfully being used on 1 or 2 people, and then they just repeated it because that's what you do in MLM. It's just duplicated. I can guarantee it.
Duplication.
Yep.
So them private messaging each one of my team. I haven't reached out to anyone on my team. Like I haven't messaged maybe 2 or 3 girls. That's it. But they private messaged every single person.
And that's odd. That's not what you do. You don't do that, you know? They didn't expect this to become public knowledge.
It's odd. It's odd.
It's not right. No, it's just another level of like how low people will go in these scams that know what they're doing. And you know, when you juxtapose your experience of being so destabilized after having Modere shut down, there were actual customers that were just completely floored too. They really like their putting on a spoon. They really love their products. They're like, I can't even place an order. They're already surprised. Never mind. There's like people like you that are, you know, had this as your business, making money, recruiting other people. You've had this whole other community now with autism tied in. Then you have people, your uplines phoning and contacting every single one of your downline. Did over the years where you were asking them for help, your problem, your difficult, they certainly had no problem as soon as that company shut down, methodically, one at a time, messaging everyone methodically, wherever they could, driving 2 hours this way, an hour and a half this way. They knew exactly what they're doing.
And thank you. I guess I just didn't know because I could never think of that. I would never have thought of that.
Because you believe this was a legitimate thing. And it was in some regards. Like you saw money, you saw success, you saw benefits. Like there's these things that must be true in order to keep people in. And then there's the other side where there's people that do know what these things do, and they do know what they do to people, and they use that to keep targeting people and preying on them. So you didn't even think. Your Modere shuts down and it's like, oh my gosh, people must be healing. That's your first tendency is to think they must be uncertain too. They must need time to heal. Their first reaction, go behind your back and try to recruit every single one of their team. Total difference there. There's an example of what, when you don't know what you're in an MLM and when you do that kind of behavior. Stark contrast.
And then after a week, when they got them all manipulated, made sure they were behind them, they'd send me a text and said, we can't talk to you right now. Maybe one day we'll give you a phone call and let you speak. We know you want to talk to us. But right now, we wish you the best. We know you're going to be successful. We know, and we're so positive that you know, this is just not good for us. You're just not a good person for us right now. After a week, when they were secure with my team being behind them, whatever they told my team, hey, it's going to be bigger and better. Marty's not coming. Are you in? Well, we want to stick with Marty. Well, sorry, your downline's going to be coming with us then. You're not going to have any of that. So you can either come with us and lose everything, come with us and not lose or go.
You see, this is another aspect of this is where they're creating fear of like, you are going to have nothing. So not only they're not hearing from you, they're already uncertain and scared. They don't know what's going on with Modere. And then they get this personal connection from someone that they probably feel really honored that they're getting communication from, because they haven't had that kind of communication and attention before. And they're told, if you stay with this, you're going to get nothing. But if you come with us, oh, this is a brand new opportunity. You're getting in at the ground floor. They had no choice. These people had had no choice. The decision was already made for them by when these twins, anybody else that's involved in this scam, when they started to initiate this plan. You know, keep in mind, Justin Prince from Modere, who started Make Wellness, he wrote a playbook. Somebody that had been in that company sent it to me. I made a piece of content on it, exposing it page by page, walking people through the process of how to leave one multi-level marketing company and go to another with calculated deception, what video to make, what you say in the video. He actually has a playbook. It's not just metaphorical. It wouldn't surprise me if there is an actual playbook for this kind of behavior too.
But why? Why me and my son? Like, why? Kenny has autism. Like,
I know.
that alone and the special needs and the impact,
I know.
like, that alone would make you say, okay, maybe it's a good idea, but maybe we should think first.
No, because they don't, because this is the black heart of MLM, of the people that know. They don't care. These are the people that would like kick kittens and like laugh at it. It's not an exaggeration. They will do anything they can. They will press anybody down. They will take advantage of the most vulnerable and then make those people feel like there's something wrong with them, just so they can scrabble as much money as they can and move on to the next thing. So a good person, a good-hearted person, where it's this insult to the autism community too, and like who the people that you've worked with, they're using that. And it's like knowing, they know, they're very smart. They know all the vulnerabilities and the doubt and the different treatments and all of that. They know all of that, and they use that also to inform them how they're going to take your customers and then move and get them on to the next. It's evil. There's no other way to describe it.
Well,
I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. I'm so sorry.
no, this is very enlightening and therapeutic, and hopefully, like, I've grown a lot just through this conversation, believe it or not, because
you're not alone. We've all had, there's some stories where it's the same stuff. It's the same story over and over and over again. And I remember when I was like leaving Mon8 and Rank Makers, I kept anticipating someone was going to come with information to me about, well, maybe there's a good MLM out there. Like maybe there's something there. And it was almost like my brain was ahead of my body. I still had the feeling of, well, maybe there's something there, but my brain, I'm like, Julie, it's not. Like you can see there's nothing here. And every time I would have somebody leave a comment or reach out to me, it's like the same 5 or 6 responses. And then it's gone back all the way for decades since before Amway. The first one was Neutralite. And we've been all saying the same things. Well, it can't be a pyramid scheme because pyramid schemes are illegal. It can't be a pyramid scheme because it's products. Well, it's not just you. There's something wrong with your mindset. You didn't invest enough. You didn't believe in yourself enough. They just say the same things.
you didn't work hard enough.
It didn't work hard enough. It didn't believe in myself hard enough. It just didn't work out for you. You just didn't stay. We weren't consistent enough. You wanted to prove the system wrong. It's the same. Every MLM.
Well,
why? We all know, because we all see the same stuff, and more people outside of MLM are seeing it too.
Well, you have to manifest it, and you're not attracting it. Attract it.
It's scarcity or abundance mindset. You get to choose. You get to keep what you speak.
How did you know?
Because I said the same thing.
Shoot.
Different MLM, same crap, different pile.
Well, I mean, hopefully this will help. I'm going to go on and look at some of the other, you say there's other people like me. I'm going to go, have you interviewed them?
Yeah, I have interviews on my channel. And you know what I encourage you to do? I don't know if you enjoy podcasts, but Life After MLM, you could listen on Spotify with Roberta Blevins. She has, that was one of the first resources that I used when I was like exiting, figuring things out. There's stories from all kinds of people in different multi-level marketing companies. And they all, I mean, of course, there's details that are different, but at the core, it's the exact same story every time. I'm like, how is is possible? You're in plexus, I'm in Mon 8, that person's in our body, and yet we all have the exact same thing. We all say the same trainings. We can finish each other's sentences. This is suspicious.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And you can use my son. He's been very helpful healing.
Okay. Well, thank you to you. Thank you to your son. And I'll edit this, get this off to you, and then we'll see if it goes up.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.